we're going to make peanut butter chocolate marble brownies. So let's get started. First, in a large bowl, you're going to cream a half a cup of butter. Now, if you don't want to use butter, go ahead and use margarine. And keep your butter or your margarine at room temperature, and then just use your stand-up or your hand mixer to break it up and cream it. Once you do that, you're going to put in a 1/4 cup of creamy peanut butter. And this is going to be whatever brand that you prefer to use. You can use regular or you can use the reduced fat. That comes out good too. And I'm going to bring the butter and the peanut butter together on high. Till it's all combined and smooth. Take you very long to do that. The next thing we're going to do is put in granulated sugar, and we're going to put 1 cup on high a little at a time. Alright, and that's the rest of the granulated sugar. And again, just blend it all together. Work those sides and get to the bottom of their bowl. We're now going to put in a cup of your brown sugar. I'm just going to break that up a little bit here, because I don't want to put it all in at one time. And again, on high, just mix it, combine it, and bring it together. That's the rest of the brown sugar, and that was a cup. Alright, now once you see that that's come together pretty well and combined, you're going to put in 3 eggs that have been at room temperature. And again, I'm just going to put 1 at a time till I get it all mixed and beaten together on high speed. There's our last egg. And now the batter becomes very smooth and it becomes a wet batter. Want to get to that bottom of that bowl. And this is what it's going to look like so far. Alright, the next thing that you're going to need and you're going to put in is a teaspoon of vanilla. Now once everything's all combined, you're going to put in all-purpose flour, and you're going to need 2 cups of that. So I'm going to put it in a little at a time, and I'm going to stay about medium speed so that the flour doesn't go everywhere. Put a little bit more flour in and beat it in. As you go along, of course, you know you can raise your speed. Less flour is going to be all over your kitchen. What I like to do next is start putting in your 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Now just put a little in, and then I'm going to add a little flour. Put the rest of my baking powder, and that was 2 teaspoons. And then just beat that in. The last thing we're going to need is salt, and we're going to put a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And now I'm going to put the rest of my flour in. And I Jam on high just to get through it because it's going to become a little bit thickened at this point. Just stay with it. And just beat it till you know everything looks like it's come together and it's combined. I'll set that aside. And then again, I want to get to the bottom of that bowl, work those sides, and get all the dry ingredients mixed together. Okay, and the batter will look like this. Next, you're going to need a 13x9 pan that you're going to need to grease. And I like to use a solid shortening, but if you prefer to use whatever, then please feel free. But you will need to have it heavily greased because you don't want these to stick when you're trying to pull them out. And what you're going to do next is you're going to take only half of the batter out of the bowl. And that's exactly what I'm going to put in the 13x9, a half of the batter. This is going to take a little bit of patience to do because it is so thick, but just work with it from side to side with your spatula or your wooden spoon or whatever you choose to use, and just spread it out as evenly as you can, edge to edge, in the center, even it out. You will be able to stretch it. You just got to kind of pull the batter, but you will have enough if you use half of your batter. And then just start pressing it down. Try to even it out, and it'll look like this. Alright, what you're going to need next now is a half a cup of chocolate syrup. And it's going to be up to you again of what type of brand that you like. Now you can spoon it over your batter, or you can just kind of drizzle it and pour it over. I find this faster. And just try to even it out. Get to the edges, get into that center of it, and then just take the rest of it out. Try to get all your syrup out of there. And that was a half a cup. And this is also going to take a little bit of patience. Now the remaining batter, you're going to just put it on top of this, and you're going to try to just smooth it over the top without disturbing too much of the syrup. You will be able to start to do that. It just takes a little bit of time to kind of bring it together. And you're going to need, you know, a butter knife or some type of knife to do that. And this is really what takes the most time. Everything else is, well, it's done really pretty quickly. This is what tends to take the most time, is just trying to smooth this batter on top. Now you're going to get some of the chocolate on top. That's okay, but you don't want to dig into it too much. But you do want to get all that batter out of there so that you can do that and bring it over the top. These brownies come out really fantastic. Because of the chocolate. They have like a, you know, it comes out like a wonderful filling inside. Now, I usually don't put a frosting over these, but you can. I have several chocolate frostings, cooked and uncooked recipes on my channel that go great over these brownies. If you don't want to put anything over them, you can sprinkle powdered sugar on them, which really tastes good. Or you can just take some, you know, say I don't know, maybe half to 3/4 of a cup of chocolate chips while they're hot when they come out of the oven, and just sprinkle those on top, and then take a knife and just smooth it in, and you'll have a nice chocolate top. But these brownies come out so good and so chocolatey. I don't think you're really going to need a frosting, but of course give it a try. It'll look like that, and then take your knife and then just go in the brownie and start putting swirls into it, because what you want to do it is to combine them so that it has and it creates that marble effect into your batter. So just cut about halfway into it to form that marbled look that you want inside that batter. And this is what they'll look like. You're going to bake them at 350 degrees, and it's going to take anywhere from 35 to 40 minutes depending on your oven, because as we know, all ovens do set up differently. I like to start checking mine about 25 minutes and then continue to check so that I don't overbake them where they become very dry. You want these to be very moist and delicious. So again, 350 for 35 to 40 minutes, and then of course when they come out of your oven, put them on your cooling tray before you cut them. I do have some to show you what they'll look like once they're done, and they will look like this. I have a beautiful marble top, and I don't know whether or not you're going to be able to see it, but the beautiful marbling on the inside where that chocolate syrup is. And I'm going to cut it in half to show you, and I hope you can see the beautiful marble effect. A great tasting brownie, moist and delicious with chocolate and peanut butter. What goes better than chocolate and peanut butter? I hope you like this recipe. If you do, leave a comment. I'd like to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.